Okay, we're going to take a look at graphing using several transformations. Now, there is an order in which we graph more than one transformation, and I'm going to go ahead and give you kind of a little acronym to help you with this. We're going to do HAK. HAK, that just means first we're going to do any horizontal. Basically the order in which I talked about them here on the videos, horizontal translations. The second one, we're going to mess with the A, which is that thing in front, which means any stretching, shrinking, or reflecting. And then the last is going to be the K, which is the vertical. And these variables to which I refer are the things that adjust a graph like this. Let's just take the parabola for instance. We saw that minus h squared plus k, right? These are the things I'm talking about here. The horizontal first, then horizontal meaning h, and then a, and then k. Horizontal, any stretching, shrinking, reflecting, and then any vertical. So in that order. If you do the vertical before reflecting, or you switch those last two, then you're going to have a different function than somebody who doesn't. So those need to be done. It's really just order of operations. So let's take a look. I'm going to do the red one first, and I know it's this one is a parabola, so I'm going to start off with realizing that this is going to be a shift to the left 1. So I know my parabola is going to shift to the left 1, so I'm going to just put that vertex there. And then I'm going to do any reflecting or stretching, shrinking, and reflecting. And so I'm going to go ahead and stretch the thing by 2. In other words, it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. In other words, instead of going over 1, up 1 from the vertex, right, instead of doing this, right, over 2, up 4, instead of doing this, I'm going to take these points and I'm going to stretch them vertically by 2. Whoops, there went my... Let me go back there. Let me try to erase that again without getting my vertical axis. Okay, so let me stretch that now. I'm going to actually go over 1 up 2. Over 1 up 2, and instead of over 2 up 4, I'm going to go over 2 up 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And that's the same over here. Okay, so this is my stretched parabola. That goes through there a little bit. Sorry about that bad artwork there. There's my stretched parabola. It's skinnier, right, because we're stretching it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the second thing that's out there in the A position. I'm going to go ahead and reflect it. So I'm going to go ahead and reflect. And that's going to go down here. Each point is just going to go down instead of up. So that point there is going to be down 2, 4, 6, 8. So there it is right there. Now I'm not making my lines dashed, but you'll be able to follow it, right? Okay, and so there's that. That's right. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so there's that. So I've taken care of my plus 1, I've taken care of my 2, and I've taken care of my negative. The very last thing I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pull this one off of there, just so it doesn't confuse me. I'm going to go ahead and move down 3. So let me now move it down 3, and I'll make it nice and bold. Every point is just going to move down 3. That point's going to go down 3. This point's going to go down 3. That one down 3. And there's my new graph. So we're going to hack through all the adjustments. And that's not supposed to be pointed, but you know what I mean. There's that. My last one is the bold one. There's my final answer. Okay, let's take a look now at the green one. And again, we're going to, I'm going to actually make an adjustment here. You really want to be careful that your A is in the first position and you don't have anything else sitting there. For instance, here's what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and say plus and negative because I know that the 2 that's being multiplied by that radical is a negative 2. If I do that, then there's nothing wrong with me then adjusting this to look kind of a little more like the standard way that we would see this with the K at the back, right there, that vertical adjustment tacked onto the end of it instead of sitting there at the front. So there's my adjustment so that it looks a little more like the A is at the front, the H is inside, and the K is tacked onto the end. Let's take a look at what we're going to be adjusting now. So this plus 4 means I'm going to move this thing to the left 4. So first thing I'm going to go left 4 with my square root function. Then I'm going to stretch by a factor vertically, right? Vertical stretch by a factor of 2. By a factor of 2. Then I'm going to reflect it. And then I'm going to go up 5. So let's take those in that order. So the square root function we know looks like this, right? Over 1 up 1 over 4 up 2. So it's looking like this. There's my. Now I'm going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. 2. There's that. Oops. Up 3. There's that. So this is my function. That's me going over 4, and I want to stretch vertically by a factor of 2. That means this. I'm going to go ahead and put some specific dots where I've actually graphed that that I've actually plotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, here's the other point. So now I'm going to take each of these points and I'm going to stretch them vertically by 2, meaning I'm going to multiply the y value by 2. Now this one right here, that y value is 0. 0 times 2 is nothing. I mean, it's just going to stay there. But this 1 times 2 is going to move to 2. The 2 times 2 is going to move to 4. That 3 times 2 is going to move to 6. So now, here's my latest graph. There it is there. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of pull this a little bit of this off of there. So now that's my stretching by 2. Now I'm going to reflect it, so every one of those points is going to come down. It's going to come down to there. That 4 is going to come down to here. And this one that was 6 is going to come down to 6 this way. So now let me sketch my smooth curve there. Okay, so that's my new position now. I know I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do, but it's okay. There's my new position. So that's the reflection. Now I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take this point, go up 5. I'm going to go up 5 here and up 5 here. That's going to be there. And let's take a look. There it is. There's my new function, the translated function. Excuse me, transformed function. Translations, reflections, stretching, things like that. Okie doke, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.